Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. A lot of things is happening. We close to 2025, and the elections is coming up in November. And throughout the years, I've had dreams about November not being a cakewalk. I had dreams about November being filled with chaos, being filled with death and destruction, and with the National Guards and the UN troops in America setting up security posts. What I mean by security posts, martial law, blocking off the Lincoln Tunnel, blocking off the Lincoln Tunnel, the George Washington Bridge, and every major bridge, the Verrazano Bridge, every major bridge that's connecting when you coming in and out of New York City. And the thing is, I've had this dream, years ago, and periodically I would have the dream, but each November that passes by, I kind of like, okay, nothing happened, so dreams puffs up food, so you don't want to get taken away by a dream that you had, because it could be meaningless, or it could be a prophecy. Now, this November coming up is kind of crazy, because we have this situation with Kamala Harris, who was Indian descent, running for president, and she's a woman. And then you got Donald Trump running for re-election, and you got the good old boys backing Donald Trump. We see all this happening, and then you have the Democrats supporting either which way, let me just say this, either way, whether it's a Republican president or a Democratic president, they're going to support Israel. And what them gutter rats are doing over there in the Gaza Strip, they're going to support that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We know that. But what's going on the situation in Ukraine, I don't think the Republicans, some of them are, supporting what's going on right along with the Democrats with this invasion of Russia by NATO. And they have been given F-16 fighter jets, nuclear capable fighter jets, and they invaded, I think it's the Kyrgyzstan part of Russia, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And they've been over there, and it's been 3 weeks. And reports from Andrew Napolitano and Max Blumenthal and all the rest of these people that have knowledge of that, Cardinal McGregor, they saying that was just for show, because Russia is winning the war. But how long the situation going to continue? Salaki for the rant, but one more thing. You have Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas with the powerful military that the United States in the West, mainly the United States, built up for them Israeli gutter rats. It's hard to beat them one-on-one. But you're going to have a regional war, whereas all these nations come together against the Israeli government, and it's going to force America to get involved. Because if the situation with Iran and Israel continue and it escalates, and if Hezbollah and the Houthis, as well as Hamas, get together with other regional powers, they're going to overtake Israel, and it's going to force America to get involved, especially if they go to war with Iran. And then Russia going to get involved. And now we got a whole situation going on, which is prophecy. Pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. So you got to understand something. America is funding Israel, and they control NATO. When you go to Jeremiah 51:7, it tells you that Babylon, which is America, has been in a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So let's get that scripture real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 7, and it reads, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. That golden cup is the democracy that America pushed, the funding of Israel, all their policies, the regional wars that they have their proxy armies engaging in. That's that golden cup that's sitting in Babylon's hand. First and foremost is the democracy, their policies, their unjust laws, the unrighteous decrees pursuant to Isaiah, the 10th chapter, the 1st verse, that they pass these unjust laws, promoting feminism, giving the happy people more rights than people that's not into that, promoting transgenderism. That's that golden cup in this country's hand, which is spiritually it's called Babylon and Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, but this is America. That's that golden cup in our hand. And it reads, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Because the Lord is using America, which is Babylon, to bring forth all these unrighteous decrees and push that satanic agenda on all the rest of the nations. And they taking and they drinking that Babylon juice like it's water. They drinking that Babylon juice like it's water. And guess what? When you drink a lot of vodka or you drink a lot of Jameson, what's going to happen? You're going to get drunk. You're going to be stumbling around like a bumbling idiot. And that's what these nations have received. And what they're doing now is feeling the effects of this democracy. What comes along with democracy is feminism, where your wife buck up against you, where she got the right to twerk on social media and display her body amongst the whole world, because social media is a world wide web. OnlyFans. Do you actually think I'm going to pay some woman just to see her body but never get to really actually touch her? That's sick, man. It says back in Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 7, Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, which is their philosophies, the democracy, the feminist movement, the Me Too movement, anything that promotes a woman being upgraded over a man, that queen of heaven spirit. All these nations have drunken of that wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Now they're coming to their senses. Now they're saying that all that democracy doesn't really mean shit, because it's turning their families upside down. It's turning their economy upside down. So drinking of that cup comes with a lot of madness. Comes with a lot of wickedness. And these nations are seeing it and they mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. Balm is like a soothing agent, like A&D ointment, when you put on a cut so it won't get affected, and you wrap it up. And they're trying to fix the economy, the infrastructure of America, but it's not working. It says, take balm for her pain, if so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. That's why you got all these different people that's over here, the Hamitic nations, the Arab nations. They going back to their countries. because they don't want to have nothing to do with. Yeah, they make all the money over here, but when the money sources run out and they see that the economy is not good, they're gonna go back to their country. And whatever money they made over in America, they're gonna build up their empire over there in their own country. That's what's going on. That's what's going on over there. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto the heaven and is lifted up to the skies. What is that? The judgment of the Lord coming upon America. The Lord is starting to visit this world, and he's bringing judgment. And the brutal judgment is thermonuclear destruction. But before that, you're going to have famine, the decline of morale, the decline of the infrastructure in America. You're going to see all kind of lewdness out here, lawlessness, and we see that happening. Uproars of the people, people bucking up against the establishment. We see this happening. So we see the decline of America. But we hear wars. We see the wars taking place, all the proxy armies that America is controlling and funding. We see these things happening. And we see that all the laws that's being passed to protect the happy people, to whereas a man could dress up as a woman and teach children in schools, the morale of America is totally gone. We see that. So all these sins are reaching unto the skies, and the Lord is fed up with the sins of America and is about to visit this place. It says, verse 10. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 10. The Lord, Yahweh, have brought forth our righteousness by giving us this truth, bringing us back to our nationality, our heritage, those that's a part of the elect, the hopeful elect. Because the 2/3 ain't going to get it. The 2/3 is not going to get it. Pursuant to Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, they're going to be stuck in a stupor until the Lord brings judgment upon this place. They're going to be stuck in their madness, believing in white Jesus, which is going into slavery, by the way, which goes back to Ptolemy Sota, which means savior, and Ptolemy Philadelphus is his son. You got to understand, and you got to understand the history. You got to know the history to understand the mystery. That's what the apostles, started with Apostle Tahar, always says. You got to understand the history. You got to know the history to understand the mystery of these scriptures. And that's secular history. You can look that up. So these people, it says, these people are taken, and they're not going to come back because the Lord don't want them. They have been rejected by the Lord. So let's go back to Jeremiah 51, verse 10. The Lord have brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power. Which is that work? Giving us back our heritage, giving us back our nationality, feeding us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures, and ultimately the works of the Lord. When Yahweh shall crack them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. And at the same time, the Lord put the Spirit on these different nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 50 and 9, that assembly of great nations to shoot missiles over here on America. This place is done. America is done. America, a.k.a. Babylon, a.k.a. Egypt, a.k.a. spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, this place is done, man. There's nothing that these people could do. And now they got this presidential reality show popping off with Kamala Harris, which is nothing but a scum bucket, a cum dumpster, a drunk, a stumbling, bumbling, stupid-ass cackling hen running for president against Donald Trump, who's also controlled by the establishment. But he's just somewhat of a rebel. But he still control opposition because they fund both sides, man. And that's the Lord's, that's in the, and that's in that cup. And the Lord is using America to carry out his agenda, to push this wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why I tell you, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. But the end result is death and destruction is going to come for me. You see what the Lord does? He will use a nation of people to oppress Israel. For Israel's wickedness, Israel being Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, on down to Ephraim and Issachar, which is the Latin tribes. What's happening is the Lord is bringing us back together. See, we sinned against the Lord. That's what you talk about. That's why in Micah chapter 7 verse 10, it says we got to bear the 7 verse 9. Therefore I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. So all this calamity is coming upon us. We got to bear it. Though it is a part of the elect. And what's happening is the Lord is gathering the remnant to be delivered, but at the same time he's going to bring death and destruction. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. That great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. That's why you hear of these wars, and you see you hear rumors of wars. You see wars taking place in the Gaza Strip, which is going to turn out to be a hot regional war real soon. You see what's going on over there in Ukraine with Russia. You see a lot of skirmishes going on throughout the four corners of the earth. Look what's going on with the Houthis in the Red Sea. Things that you don't hear on mainstream media, you got to go to alternative media to get the true facts, and then you search out them true facts and see if they're true or so. And this is what's happening, man. So it's back in Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. That great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, and it's coming. Even the voice, it says, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. What's the voice of the day of the Lord? Hey, we telling you that destruction is coming. We telling you that the Lord is about to crack them skies, bring a death and destruction. He's visiting. He's visiting the world in which he made. We telling you these things. We telling you from the Apostle Tahar on down. We telling you what's about to take place, man. What's coming down the pipe. Whether you were here, or whether you will forbear, pursuant to Ezekiel 3 and 17. Pursuant to Ezekiel 33, verse 1 on down, if you hear, that's well for you. But if you don't hear, and we warn you, your blood is off our hands. The blood's going to be upon your own head. And we telling you, week in and week out, throughout the week, putting up videos. Then you got these scoffers, and you got these scorners, you got Jake come up against what we doing, man. Jake. And they're the 2/3, the same spirits that was back then come up against Yahweh Shai and his ministry, and the apostles, the same men coming back today doing the same shit, man. There's nothing new under the sun. It gets you angry, but you got to understand it's a part of prophecy. It's a part of the Lord's movie. So back in Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 15, it says, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. And that's what's going to happen when them Gurkha troops, them UN troops, the National Guard come in and lock down this place, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 15th and the 16th chapter. Mainly when you go to when you go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, the 14th verse, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. And when you go down, it tell you how the place is going to be locked down. There's going to be sedition among men. This is about to go down, man. We see this happening. And only the elect is taking heed. Or the hopeful elect is taking heed. But the rest of the people out there, they're blind and they're not taking heed, man. The same must know it after death by pain. Pursuant to Second Ezra 9 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to understand something. This day that's coming is a day of terrible wrath and distress. Let's read it again. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation. What's going to make this land waste? What's going to make America a waste? I'm saying a day of wasteness and desolation. Thermal nuclear destruction. Concentrated fire from them chariots when Yahweh Shah cracked them skies. It says, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, being in a confused state, not knowing what the hell is going on. Wondering what the hell is going on, why there's no jobs, why all hell is breaking loose. Because you didn't take heed to the prophets. Each time the Lord Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah is set to destroy a kingdom, he sends his prophets to warn his people scattered within that kingdom, to warn them, to get right, to come back into the fold. Once again, whether you hear or whether you will forbear, that's on you. But the job of a prophet, which is the Lord's man, is to warn his people and to bring judgment upon and pronounce judgment upon the inhabitants of that land. Whether they are the 2/3, because America is a great melting pot, so you got all the different nationalities here. So you got to link all these different nationalities, the Moabites, which are the so-called Chinese, the Ammonites, which are the so-called Japanese, the Hamites, which are the so-called Africans, the Ishmaelites, which are the so-called Arabs. You got to lump them all in. You got to, and you warn them. No, you cast judgment upon you. You tell them of the forthcoming judgment, and that's that. So it says, and I will bring, this is back in Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. The only ones that could sin is the sons of Israel. So this is referring to this is referring to the 2/3 that's walking like blind men. It says, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. And when you go into the international bankers trying to pay off certain leaders or trying to pay off certain other people, it says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. The Lord ain't going to take no payoff. So the Rothschilds' gold and they silver and they paper currency that they have, they ain't going to be able to pay the Most High off. Because the Lord's going to put the spirit on whoever's in office in Russia to shoot missiles off. And it looks like Vladimir Putin got 4 more years, so very well may be Vladimir Putin. And he's having a lot of restraint because the Lord is not ready to unleash them weapons, because certain problems have to come to pass, like the MOTB. And it's rearing its ugly head. It's everywhere. It's becoming mainstream. So we see what's happening, man. If your eyes are open, we see what's happening. A lot of predictive programming is taking place where they're making that MOTB to be the norm. We see what's happening. It says, neither they silver, this is verse 18. Jeremiah 51 verse 18. No, Slack is 51 verse 18. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 18. Salakia. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. What's the fire of the Lord's jealousy? Thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire when Yahweh shall crack them skies. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land, It says, and he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell on the land. And what's going to make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell on the land? Thermal, nuclear destruction, and concentrated fire from them chariots, man. That's just the bottom line. And we out there week in and week out, in season, out of season, warning the people. This is Isaiah the 34th chapter, the first verse. Come near, ye nations, to hear. Because what we do is we upload these videos on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, all the major platform is YouTube. But there's other platforms like TikTok, Odyssey, BitChute, you know, Instagram. That you see certain videos popping up. Whether they repost by other people that dig the videos or actual brothers putting it up on them channels. But I tell you, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, and hearken you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein. It says, the world and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation, that word indignation is righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations. All nations had their hand in inflicting the sons of Israel. All nations, man. That's why the Lord's going to bring judgment upon all these nations. It says, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. And what's that slaughter? Thermal, nuclear destruction, and concentrated fire from them chariots. Ezekiel the 38th chapter. And there's multiple scriptures. There's multiple scriptures that's depicting the end of Esau's society. It says, their slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains which the governments shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven, all the armies of the rulerships, all the armies, all the hosts, which is armies of heaven, which is rulership, shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the trees. And you go to 2nd Ezra, you know, the 13th chapter, it explains how these nations are going to be taken down. When Yahushua cracked them skies, they're going to be in the midst of World War III, fighting amongst each other. But when they see the invasion of Yahushua with the Archangel Michael, they're going to stop what they're doing and try to subdue Yahushua and the angels. And they're going to fail miserably. They're going to get their asses handed to them. They're going to get their asses handed to them. It says, for my sword for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. The rulership, that word heaven is rulership. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, the Greek word for Edom, Esau, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Who's the people of the Lord's curse? Esau, Edom. The lack of pigmentation. Going back to their forefather Cain. It says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, which is a metaphor of the people and all the elements in America. Because just like Apostle Tahar says, America is a great big altar. And it's going to be a sacrifice. We're going to get to that. It says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh have a sacrifice in Bosra. Bosra is an ancient city that was inhabited by Esau and controlled by Esau, and modern day Bosra is America. And America is going to be destroyed. America is that great altar, and the sacrifice are the people. And all the animals and all the elements in there, except the elect. Because the elect is going to see the destruction of Babylon the Great and rejoice. It says, "For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." I'm gonna cut it short there. We see, hey, the land of Idumea is America. It's modern day America. You can't get around that. America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. But before that, it's going to be destroyed, I'm saying, morally, financially, the infrastructure is done. There's no love. This land is barren of faith. You got all kind of lewdness, wicked acts going on in America and throughout Europe and throughout the world, because America has pushed their agenda, because the Lord used America to push that wicked agenda. Remember, Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. Jeremiah 51:7. So this place is done. This place is going to be destroyed. And there's nothing Esau could do to turn things around. This place is over. Now, like I stated earlier in this video, I've been having dreams throughout the years of November. Maybe perhaps November's came and gone. Nothing happened. But now this is a crucial November. This is an election. Maybe something may happen. Who knows? Everything is of the Lord. Everything is of the Lord. You have a dream. If it don't come to pass, then you know it was just a dream. But now, the things that I have seen in that dream, and throughout the years I have seen dreams. I have had dreams of martial law taking place in the fall, and you see there's snow. So that means the fall due to the winter. So things can very well take place the end of 2024 going into 2025. We're going to see. Abba Ratazah, the Lord allowed things to kick off, and we get out of this bitch. Because we need some salvation. Because this place is twisted. Shalom.